Well, the stock market has come roaring back. The S&P and the Nasdaq closed at all-time highs today, making the rout of late last year a distant memory. A number of things are working in the market's favor right now. Earnings have been better than expected. There was also the Fed reversing course on monetary policy, and the trade talks with China seem to be progressing right now. So today, new milestones. The Dow rose 145 points. That's not a record, but the Nasdaq added 105, and the S&P was up 25. Both of those records. Bob Pisani was in the middle of the action today at the New York Stock Exchange.
Stocks were off to the races today, picking up steam throughout the session and propelling the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq to new closing highs. Why did we have a rally? The S&P has moved to new highs on the back of four major developments. Earnings have been stabilizing. Recession fears have been fading. We've had dampening global growth fears, particularly in Europe and China, and the Federal Reserve keeping interest rate hikes on hold for the foreseeable future. Four good reasons for the markets to hit new highs. The market's got a boost from a handful of strong earnings beats today, including Dow components like Verizon, United Technologies, and Coca-Cola. Not only did they beat, but they beat by generally wider margins than typically happens. And high momentum tech and communication services names powered ahead. Names like Netflix and Amazon, Nvidia, and Google parent Alphabet all jumped about 2% each. That helped push the tech-heavy Nasdaq to a new high. So what happens next? We've had mostly banks and industrial stocks reporting. Banks have been okay, but not amazing. Industrials, though, have definitely been reporting better than expected. And the handful of consumer names, like Kimberly-Clark, have been strong as well. So to keep this momentum going, we need to hear from technology stocks, energy stocks, and especially healthcare stocks. Healthcare has suddenly become a bit of a problem child for the markets. The market's being pushed up by a very small group of super performers, so the rally needs to broaden out. There's only 13 new highs on the S&P 500 today. So what else is missing? How about a little volume and a little volatility? Both are still surprisingly low. The question now becomes, will new highs draw greater interest from the investing public than we've seen so far? For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.